Yes, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wigan Weekly. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Curtis.
And today we're talking about that. Well, we've got a lot to talk about today. Season is finally over. We're joined by a special guest for the first time on the channel. We are joined by Kobe, otherwise known as It's Kobe. How you doing, Kobe, mate? Are you good, mate? How you doing?
I'm great. I am doing very good.
Good to hear, mate. Thanks for coming on, mate. We really appreciate this.
Yeah, it's fine. No worries.
So with that, I think we'll get straight into it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so starting, it's been a while since we last on. A lot happened since last weekend, and last weekend we saw Wigan drew 1-1 against bitter rivals, decent rivals, the Tangerines, Blackpool. A game that ended 1-1 for a John Mellish early goal and Manelli Evans penalty. Between you, Curtis, and Kobe, let's talk about what you think of the game overall.
Do you want to go first, Kobe?
Yeah, if you want. I think the first half of that game, I think that was probably the best glimpse of Ryan Law ball we could see. The second half we dipped. Blackpool there was the better side that half, and I think they got a bit more used to the game. Obviously got a penalty, and it ended 1-1.
I'd sort of second what you're saying there. I think, first half it was great, John Mellish with his lucky goal. It's probably the quickest goal of the season, definitely up there. And I think, we might have been able to just edge it out against Blackpool if they didn't get the penalty. It's a shame, but, it was another point. We carry on the undefeated streak. Do you want to add anything, Charlie?
I think it was nice seeing the first glimpse of Ryan Lowe ball. I think overall we were okay. The first half was okay. Second half was a bit disappointing. I think the second half we were lazy. We weren't very good going forward. And yeah. The penalty wasn't. Was it a penalty for you two?
I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah. Okay.
If Owen Daly takes down one of the players in the box, and it's a bit stupid how he's done it, but yeah, I do think it is a penalty.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Obviously, it was scored by former Wigan man Lee Evans. What would you sum up? How would you sum up his time at Wigan, Lee Evans?
Lee Evans, I liked him. I think he was all right, solid. I'm just gonna get his stats up so I can get a better.
I think overall he was pretty decent for Wigan, especially like 17, 18, 18, 19 when he was quite a big part of our triumph in both League One and of course, and then the Championship briefly. But yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, obviously he did two loan spells at first and joined on a permanent before making the move to Ipswich. Making, when he was here on a permanent, 67 appearances, scoring 5. So I think he's a big impact for him when he was at the time at Wigan. But he's had a couple of injuries since and started to get back on track at Blackpool.
Yeah, I think he's certainly a solid player with a lot to give. He certainly seems to be a fan favourite among the Blackpool fans. But yeah, he's done all right for Blackpool since arriving. It hasn't been there too long. But yeah, it ended 1-1 full time. And we saw the first. We saw a little glimpse of Nalanis playing. He didn't do a massive amount. What would you two make? What would you two make out of Nalanis for starters? I think he could be a player to bring. Do you think? Let's say that in a hypothetical situation, he joins them in summer. Do you think he'd be a good signing?
I wouldn't say no. He did put a promising performance in when Blackpool came. He was making some good runs, some good passes. I wouldn't be against it.
No.
Bit of experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. Obviously, the first half, he had a 1v1. Obviously, Sam Tickle saved it. I'd like him. I feel like he could. Obviously, he's played with being under Ryan Law, so he knows what he's about. I wouldn't mind him. I'd like him.
Yeah, he's decent. Although, obviously, Dale Taylor's leaving, which is a shame. But yeah, I think Ennis could be the man to do him justice. But then again, though, it does depend if we're willing to spend a bit of money. Something we're not very
good at.
Good at or known to do, really.
Yeah.
But I think we'll move on because the Blackpool game, there wasn't much to talk about. It was the final home game of the season. It wasn't a great way to say goodbye to the season. Obviously, we did see around what do you call it, the lap of honour at full time, which wasn't amazing. I mean, I think the stadium was empty to be honest by full time, but yeah, it was okay, I guess. But yeah, move on to Burton, which is on Tuesday, which was second last game of the season. Ended another 1-1 draw. An early goal from I can't remember which goal for Burton.
Burrell, I think it's
that was it. Yeah, that was it. And then of course a 96-minute equaliser by number 10 Ronan Darcy. It was a scrappy goal from Darcy. It wasn't the greatest goal, but we'll take it, won't we? Another point for Ryan Lowe in his decent fought moment.
Yeah, with that game, it was a big game for Burton. All they needed was 1 point. So they wanted it, Burton. Because it keeps them up. And obviously it did. This battle's scoring last minute, but it's not a bad result. We've not got nothing to play for, so as long as it's not a loss, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. How would you summarise the Burton game, Kurt?
Well, I mean, I sort of thought, after they came to the Brick in January, I thought, they've got players capable of scoring against us. And when I saw that, they'd scored, I thought it was going to happen. But then, I mean, for Ronan Darcy to get a sort of last-minute equaliser, definitely can't knock that by any means. But I think, next season, we need to sort of go in and score more goals. Because when we do win, it's by a very narrow margin.
Yeah, 1-0.
1-1 draws are just becoming, it's like every single game. And don't get me wrong, we like a good unbeaten streak, but it needs to change.
To be fair, I mean, I wouldn't say it's been a game this season we've necessarily, we've walked away with the result. There's been no games where we've won, by a good, solid 3-goal margin, really. Or has there?
Bristol.
Yeah, the 3-0. But apart from that, there's not many. I don't think there has been any apart from that, to be honest. And that was quite a one-off, to be fair.
Yeah, I think two games I can imagine. We scored 3 or more, and that was Peterborough at home, Bristol Rovers away.
Yeah, it was it. Yeah, Bristol Rovers. That was it. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, overall, poor season going forward. I mean, obviously, as I said, Ronan Darcy scored the goal on Tuesday night. Do you think he's living up to the potential when he signed? I mean, in other words, do you think he is the right man to replace Telo Asgard?
No.
No, I don't.
I think he could become a decent player, but he won't be Tello. No, I don't. No.
Yeah, I don't mean. I don't mind Ronan Darcy, and obviously he was born down the road from Wigan. So it's local. I got back him, but yeah, I don't think he. I mean, to be honest, he wasn't that good at Crawley. To be honest, he's a very. I feel average is a bit harsh, but he's no better than a League Two top side player. Yeah. He's not a League One top player. But I think it is what it is. I mean, he's only 22, 23, still a good amount of attention. But yeah, overall, what do you think? Was he the right man to bring in for Telo Asgard?
Well, I mean, I don't really think you can sort of compare the two at the minute because Asgard, he had sort of championship experience under his belt when we were up there. He's been in League One for sort of more time than what you think about Ronan Darcy being with Crawley. That's most of the time it's been League Two, so it's been lower levels. It's definitely a step up for him, and I don't think you can be expecting miracles out of him straight away. So I think, I mean, in hindsight, he might be a potential replacement in the future, but I think it's gonna take time.
Yeah,
I think it will. But I just think Asgard. I mean, to be honest, Asgard. I didn't realize, but he actually was probably our best player from August to January. To be honest, he was really big for us. I didn't really realize, but yeah, he was certainly one of our best players. But yeah, it had to come to an end with Asgard. I mean, it wasn't really a move that should have happened. Really, to be honest, it was a move that I think we wanted the money. I don't think we were really thinking it was a case of let's just get the money, let's just be on with him. But overall, not a great piece of business, and it was quite surprising because it came very late. It was like January 29th, January 30th, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
very late.
It was later on.
But yeah, overall, that wasn't a great move. But with that, we'll move on to today's game. Full time, of course, at Sixfield Stadium in Hampton. It ended Northampton Town 1, Wigan 1. By no means was today a very good performance. It was another 96-minute equaliser this time from Dale Taylor. Kobe, what was your thoughts on today's performance at Sixfields?
Wasn't the greatest of performances. They're meeting us on the counter attack, and then it was James Carragher deflected cross, and it's Dale Taylor Lowe to put the ball in the back of the net. So Will Aimson also getting the red card straight afterwards, which I do think it was harsh. I do think it was a harsh red card.
You, Curtis?
Yeah, I mean, I do think, we definitely probably lost out on some chances during that time, and they did play well. And I think, we're lucky to sort of get that equaliser in the stoppage time. I think if they kept the original goalkeeper on, it might have been a different story. As for the red card, I'm sort of a bit in the middle with it. It seems like it might have been a bit accidental, but then again, I mean, it wasn't a great sort of position for Aimson to be in, really. So if the the referee's seeing it from a different perspective, it is what it is.
But yeah, I do get you. I think that, I mean, there was some weird. I mean, overall, the game, we got, I wouldn't say outplayed. Northampton in the first half were much more clinical going forward than we were. I mean, our attack, as usual, was non-existent in that first half, to be honest. But second half was a little bit better. I mean, we gave it our all for the final 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, a draw is not a bad result overall, is it really, in the final day of the season?
Absolutely not. But I think we did waste a lot of the corners.
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah. And free kicks we got.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously the red card, which probably will carry into next season. I'm sure Aimson will miss the first 3 games of next season because it was a straight red. It wasn't a second yellow. So annoying. I think overall there was some weird moments. I mean, obviously Ronan Darcy went off injured. Jensen went off injured. So that's 2. I mean, thankfully it's not like they're massive concerns because they've got the chance to recover quickly with no football for a while. But still, hopefully nothing too serious for them too. It was weird, obviously. I mean, I know that Northampton's keeper went off, Lee Burge. He was replaced by the youngster. Bit weird that, I don't think.
Yeah, I was a bit confused because I thought, why did they replace him? I thought they were replacing someone else at first.
Yeah, for a goalkeeper.
It was confusing.
And what do you think about that front? A bit weird, wasn't it?
I think it was very weird. I don't know why they do it. He wasn't in. Unless there was something we don't know, but he didn't like it. So.
But yeah, overall, the season's over. It's flown by this season, I think. Last season went slow, this season's flown by. But then again, this was our first full season of season to get older. I think it was fair to say that that's the reason it went fast because we were at every game. We weren't watching.
It definitely feels like it was probably partly to do with that, and then, it'll probably just get faster and faster as each season we end up going.
Out of 10, Kobe, what would you rate this season? A 10 being great, 1 being horrendous season.
I'd probably have to give it like a 4. It was a poor season to forget that that being. No, it was a poor season. It was, so I think the only highlight I can probably imagine, the top of my head, probably beating Bolton 2-0, and that was all the way back in December. So
that is a really good shot. That Bolton game was very good. I think. What would you give it, Curtis, this season out of 10?
I've not really thought too hard about this, but I mean, I think, we stayed up, and I think, if we're not spending much, that's sort of a good thing. And, we've sold players on, we've got a good amount of money. So hopefully our owners, have offset the debts that the previous ownership left. And hopefully we do get a better budget next season. I think, we've underperformed this season. I'd say if you're going to ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe about a 4 or a 5. But I don't think Ryan Lowe would have come in if he wasn't going to get a decent budget next season. So I think it's onwards and upwards here.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I mean, I think if you ask me out of 10, I'd probably say I'd say a 5 out of 10. But the thing is, though, I mean, I watched a lot of content creators, football content creators, that was, doing their season, their 24, 35 predictions. A lot of people put Wigan in the top 10, some top 6. I think looking back now,
I think I put us in about 7th or 8th. I know,
and I think like we said, we probably top 10, and we were nowhere near. We were miles off. I mean, I'm not really sure what's gone. I mean, the main thing that's gone wrong. You could argue that maybe it was just Maloney ball wasn't quite good enough.
Yeah, wasn't. It was weird Maloney ball. Because some days you could be in for a decent game, and the next game is complete opposite.
Yeah, but I mean, I've said this multiple times, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I do think that with Maloney, there was just a case of with some players, he just didn't get the best out of them. Like you look at Charlie Kelman now at Orient and Josh McGuinness at Exeter, they've both done
Even
right.
Sean Clare at Leyton Orient as well.
Yeah, just to name a few.
I mean, Asgard's doing he's doing too bad at Luton, to be fair. Asgard.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ben Amos. I mean, Ben Amos was one of the top keepers in League Two for Gillingham. Port Vale.
Yeah, well, they're straight back up.
Yeah, he's done well for them. I mean, I'm trying to get more examples. Callum Lang, he's done well in Portsmouth. He's been much, but he's been a shadow of his former self. I mean, Josh Stone's a bit unfair because he's a few leagues lower, but I'm still very confused why we ever thought that sacking, getting rid of Josh Stones was the right decision, because he was confused. He was really. I mean, I think on his day he's miles better than Will Goodwin or Joe Hugill. He was miles clearer than on his day.
Goodwin, yeah. Forgot we had him, to be honest. He wasn't playing.
Very forgetful player. To be fair, like Goodwin's come in. Goodwin has not been involved at all. He's made a couple of 10-minute appearances.
Yeah, he's not made anything. I think probably the most I can remember him was probably against Fulham. The ball headed to him, and he headed the ball. He went flying. The ball went nowhere. Like got bodied by the ball.
Easy will Goodwin. He wasn't very committed to anything.
No.
And to be fair, when you look at him, because we've seen him in the family zone a few times, he just looks a bit lost. He looks like he doesn't know anyone. He clearly isn't happy at Wigan. I mean, is it Oxford or Cheltenham? Is it Oxford on loan from? Yeah.
Oxford.
A question for you, actually. Owen Dale. Is Owen Dale impressed you on his loan spell?
When he first came in, when was under Maloney, I liked him better when was under Maloney. But I think Ryan, I don't think he's got used to Ryan Lawball, and I'm not a big fan of him anymore.
No, I'm not too fair.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of that as well, because when Maloney got sacked, Dale's partner was on TikTok saying that they had a good relationship. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
Mate, because I have about a month.
Apparently they got on well. That's all I'm saying.
A month, Chris. I mean, players who was it? He was to be fair, I know that Tickle got a bit upset, because I think I do think that Tickle's attitude on the pitch has been changed since Maloney left. Yeah. He doesn't seem as committed as he used to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, and players like James McLeod and Stephen Humphreys have all been on social media slandering the decision to get rid of him. But at the end of the day, it is not Ryan Lowe's fault. He was given the job. It's not his problem. That's the club's problem. So, yeah, but I do think it's fair to say I think Sam Tickle's going. And quite frankly, right now, I couldn't really name you a goalkeeper who I think who could come in and replace him, to be honest. No. That's going to be a difficult one. I mean, I know that we were talking to Cody Wentleman from the squad, and Cody, another face on the channel, he reckons that maybe we could get another season out of Tickle, but I don't know. I think Sam Tickle's probably a bit overdue now at Wigan. I think he deserves a chance maybe in the Championship. I
think for Tickle himself, for his career, it'd probably be best for him to leave Wigan in the summer for his career alone. But obviously, I know every single Wigan fan would want him back for ever, if he could. But I think for his career, it's probably best he does leave in the summer.
Yeah. He's been weird, Tickle, because Tickle was just a 20-year-old youngster on the bench. Maloney came in, he saw something, and he gave him a chance, and he certainly delivered to Sam Tickle. He's done very well for himself. But yeah, overall, it will. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd be surprised. I think I can accept it's going to happen with Sam Tickle. Wouldn't shock me at all. Wouldn't upset me really, because it's going to happen. At the end of the day, we aren't good enough to match his standards, really. But yeah, here's a question for both of you. Were you surprised to see Dale Taylor get player of the season?
No. The amount of watches he's been given all season, I'm not surprised.
Can fill both wrists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't surprised. He's a great player, probably our best striker in a long, long time.
Since Greg.
Yeah, probably since Greg. Yeah, I'd love him back for another season, but I don't think it'll happen.
No.
But I'm glad he's got it. He does deserve it.
Who do you vote for, Curtis, on the poll?
For which?
The vote for player of the season, who do you vote for?
I think I went for Taylor.
Taylor, did you go for Kobe? Did you go for Taylor?
I think I could have gone for Taylor. If it was Taylor Taylor or Tickle for me.
I think I voted Johnny Smith.
I did his Fulham goal for goal of the season.
I did. Yeah, I did Johnny Smith for everything, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Smith for me, Smith this season, because I mean, it was ranking for the first couple of months, but I think he got injured. Then Smith came in. Johnny Smith's been really good this season. That left foot of his is made out of, I can't describe it. I mean, his left foot is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
unreal.
On his day, he's incredible.
Yeah, and he's a proper, and he's a nice fella. He's a lovely fella. He's a really nice lad.
Yeah.
He's certainly a lot of respect, and he's polite, and yeah, he's a good footballer. He's a good lad, and I think he's clearly a fan favourite, Johnny Smith.
Yeah.
He's a very optimistic guy as well. You know, whenever we see him walking in, we're like, "You're gonna score, or we're gonna win today," and he's like, "Yeah, he'll try and get a goal, whatever."
Any news you've seen that have it's got your mind thinking about
Well,
again?
Too much this week, you know.
I've not. I've not seen much this week. Obviously, I think the most news I've seen obviously the last game at season. But I think one I did see the other week, Scott Smith, after 12 years being at the club, is set to leave after his contract's expiring in the summer. That's the last type of news I've heard. Scott Smith.
Probably.
I can imagine he will. But I think if he does leave, in my opinion, he won't be missed as much. He's liked because he's homegrown. He's not the greatest on the pitch.
He's not. He's a bit late. He's just a bit. I mean, I was saying to you before the last stream, I just don't think he'll get any better, Scott Smith, than he currently is. Yeah. I think he'll stay for the rest of his career at this level of playing style. So yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, he's quite small. Gets a bit lost in the midfield, in my opinion, when it's a big, when it's intense.
To be fair, I mean, I think he struggled to fit into a lot of League Two relegation. I think he to some extent might struggle in the National League. To be fair, I feel tight saying that, but he's not a great player. But I mean, the fans like him because he is a local lad. That's the main reason I think. But yeah, overall, he's not anything to really get to go mad about. But yeah, overall, a big one. Is that the last time we'll see Carmack in a Wigan shirt, do you think?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Go on.
I just think that... I think if Aloni was still here, I think he might have... I think I could have seen him maybe return as a coach if Maloney stayed, but not Ryan Lowe. He's not got that same relationship with Ryan Lowe, has he? But still, I mean, I wouldn't put it off the cards for return, maybe as a coach of some sort.
I can definitely see him coming in with a coaching role, but as a player, probably not. His legs have gone.
I've been saying that. I think his age is fat. I mean, he's aged a lot in the season, really.
Yeah.
Oh, what a chance! But yeah, overall, I think that Carmack is time to go. I mean, do you think he'll retire, or do you think he might go? Maybe I won't say abroad. I mean, he might go to the National League. You never know. Maybe that'll be set line. Non-league, maybe. You never know.
Yeah, it depends if he wants to play for a bit of fun in his spare time, I suppose.
Yeah,
carry on his career.
Bit of fun.
You know, it just depends where his priorities are. If he wants to stay active, he might carry on at a lower league team, but otherwise, he might call it again.
Maybe. Yeah. Fair play, Carl. He's been a real saviour for the club. He's been involved in some of that. I mean, he was involved in arguably the club's biggest moment in history. Of course, our 2013 FA Cup final win. So yeah, fair play, Carl. You've been a real player, and good luck for the rest of your life and career. Yeah, but
when you say like that, it sounds very deep.
Yeah, it is deep. Well, I mean, I wasn't sure, but then you sort of reminded me that maybe he is a club legend. His status should be a club legend.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit mixed on that one, but yeah. I mean, what do you think, Kirby? Would you regard Carmack as a legend for the club?
I think he's a legend for the club.
Yeah.
He's Callum McMahon at the end of the day. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I'd consider him a legend.
Yeah. So you do, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a bit 50-50 on that one, but yeah. So I think with that, we are here at the end of the season. We are going to make a end of the season review video at some point. Which, if you're up for, Cody, we'd love to hear your
Absolutely.
thoughts on that. We appreciate that. But yeah, overall, guys, it's been a pretty forgettable season. Nothing special happened. The only special moment, like Cody said before, was probably the Bolton win at the tough sheet. So yeah, nothing special overall, but is what it is. We've been through a sacking. We've had, well, I mean, we've
I think half the league's been through a sacking.
Oh yeah, it's been a weird season. Obviously,
Yeah, it's been a weird season.
we had 3 gaffers. We've had Maloney, we've had Glenn Whelan briefly, and then we've had obviously Ryan Lowe. But yeah, I think for today's episode, this might. I mean, I don't know if we are going to continue podcast. I mean, there's nothing to go over in the next couple of weeks.
Well, no. I mean, it'd probably be a bit of a break between now and next season, but where we can, like transfer rumors.
Yeah, I mean,
when there's a load of news,
yeah,
we can
exactly.
go through it before the season starts. But I mean, I think in this next sort of month or two, it'll probably be more sort of TikTok and YouTube content.
Yeah.
Might be an occasional podcast.
Yeah. We will try to get you some content. But yeah, cheers, Cody, for your
You getting confused between Kobe?
No, very similar names. But yeah, cheers, Kobe, for your important today's podcast. Really appreciate it, mate. It's nice having different voices on the channel and the podcast. But yeah, really appreciate it, mate. Yeah, with everyone, thank you for listening to us waffle on about Wigan for the last. How long are we at now, Kurt?
I don't know because this won't tell you.
I'd say about at least 35 minutes, probably at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, it's been very enjoyable. Thanks, Cody. Thanks, Kobe. Thanks, Curtis. And see you all. And have a good summer, everyone.
Thank you.